something at the end of this workshop, at the end of this lecture today, I wanted to share with you. It's going to be so beneficial for you, inshallah ta'ala. So the definition of nikah. What does it mean, nikah? Actually, we talked about it in the first lecture, if you remember. So the nikah means, nikah in Islam is a sacred binding contract between a man and a woman, formalized with the consent of both parties, the presence of a guardian, who al-wali, for the woman, the offering of a dowry, which is mahr, and the witnessed by two Muslim adults. They can be two Muslim adults, they can be one Muslim man and one Muslim lady, or two Muslim ladies, okay? So the witnesses can be two Muslims from the men, the males, and could be two females and one man, trustworthy. They can work this way. So again, focus on the definition. It's a sacred binding contract. Allah named it ميثاقا غليظا. ميثاقا غليظا. So it is not something temporary. You cannot have the intention to marry for a short time, then you divorce. If you have this intention, you and the one that you're gonna marry, the bride, if you have this intention, the marriage is nullified. The marriage is nullified. And we have to separate between both of you. If you have the temporary intention for the marriage. So it has to be a binding contract that's gonna last, inshallah, unless there is a reason, legal reason, for the dissolvement of the marriage contract. Between a man and a woman, so the woman is considered in the contract of marriage. We cannot force the sister to marry without her consent. So this is one of the pillars of marriage that we will talk about it, inshallah. Formalized with the consent of both parties, the presence of the guardian. We will talk in details about the guardian, the importance of having the guardians, who is al-wali. And the guardian is needed for everyone, even the one who all of her family passed away, or she doesn't have any of her family Muslims, or accepted Islam. We will know how do we deal with situation like this. But the presence of the guardian is something vital in the contract of marriage. Offering the dowry which is a gift, Allah obliged and prescribed upon men to give it to the sisters. So this is something we will talk about as well. And witnesses, the witnesses, as we said, the two men trustworthy, or one man and two sisters. The purpose of marriage, its purpose is to establish a lawful, loving, and enduring companionship. So this is a lawful one. There are many people, they live together for years, but it's not lawful. And after years, they have kids, they have families and everything. Some of them, they are ignorant. They think that going to the court, having marriage license, and the signature of the judge is enough for them to have Islamic marriage. This is completely wrong. And I have many people, they came here to the masjid to have to correct their marriage contract, and they have kids. So they stayed together for a long time without having a legal contract of marriage, which must be done by Muslims. And witnesses must be Muslims. And there are the rules that you all know about the marriage, which is something important. So this is the benefit of having these lectures, of having these workshops. And رفع الجهل, that you remove the elements of ignorance from your life. You want to have correct life based on Quran and Sunnah, Islamic one. The marriage may come late, but it doesn't matter. When I will do it, inshallah, it will be done correctly in the right way. This is the most important thing. Because I'm not ready to sacrifice with my Jannah for the sake of having something in the dunya. Even that thing was someone I love. Okay, someone I respect, someone I have children from. No, I'm not gonna sacrifice with my Jannah, with my hereafter, the good place Allah prepared for me for the sake of having some desires or things that make me happy in this world. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the bond of the contract of marriage in the Quran as ميثاقا غليظا. ميثاقا غليظا يعني a solemn covenant. A solemn covenant, very strong promise, the strongest promise on earth. The strongest promise on earth is the covenant of marriage, highlighting its seriousness and preeminence, unless a valid reason for dissolution arises. We are not Christians, we are not in Christianity that when you marry, you're not allowed to divorce. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed the marriage, and He sometimes, as we said in the second lecture, it could be obligation, it could be something sunnah, it could be something permissible, sometimes it's makruh, discouraged, and sometimes it's haram, prohibited. And also Allah allowed the divorce. Allowed the divorce at some cases, some certain cases, there is no way for the continuity of life anymore. So we're not in Christianity, if you marry, you're not allowed to divorce. No, we're Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us the solutions. But whoever oppresses the other one, Allah asks him. Allah sees everything, Allah knows everything. As-Sami'u al-Basir al-Alim al-Khabir. He is the all-hearing, He's the all-seeing, He's the all-knowing subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you oppress someone, and you go to some shuyukh and you give them wrong information, you say, he did me so and so and so and so, in order to let the shuyukh attack the brother and destroy the marriage, Allah will ask you. And the vice versa. If you go to the sheikh and you say, my wife is doing me so and so and so, in order to take a permission, allowance from the sheikh or the imam or the mufti to divorce the sister, Allah will ask you. And the most wise curriculum of dealing with such things, is to have the two parties. This is a case like in the court. The judge cannot have make his decision without the absence of the other party. This is injustice. This can never happen. That's why when the sisters, they come, or the brothers, they complain. One of the brothers, he sent to me, he said, I want to divorce my wife. I said, could you please come, you and your wife? And we spent 2 hours trying to fix the problem that they had. His decision at the beginning was to divorce his wife. And after that, it turned into like trying to find out a solution to fix the problem. So the two parties must be there. And also the sister, when she comes, we have to bring the brother in order to listen from him, in order to be able to have correct judgment. Sometimes people don't like this, it's just do whatever I ask you to do for me, and this is not good. This is not something good. Allah will ask us about everything we say, about the fatwa, about everything we tell people to do. So this is really important. The pillars of the marriage contract. From the definition, we can summarize these pillars. The first one, the prospective groom, the future groom, he must be there. And we have to have his consent. Nobody can force him to marry. And the sister as well, the prospective bride, the future bride who's going to marry that brother. Without her consent, the marriage contract is nullified. We cannot do the marriage contract without her satisfaction that she's satisfied with this marriage, with this brother, and she has to say that. She has to say that I'm satisfied with this marriage. And for me, right now, whenever I have marriage, I call the sisters, are you satisfied with the marriage? Are you satisfied with the wali, the guardian, who's going to conduct this marriage? So all of this is the right of the sister, because she's going to live with this man, and you don't know what people hide. So we have to be careful in this regard. The third pillar, and when I say pillar, it means, guys, marriage contract can never be done without these elements, without these things. The first one, the groom, the bride, the consent between both of them, and the guardian, the wali of the bride, he must be there. He must be there. Without the wali, we cannot have a marriage contract. And a lot of people, believe me, they have the marriage for years without a wali, without the satisfaction of a wali. And they live together without a wali, without anything. And when you ask for wali, sometimes they hang up in my face. Yani they ask me, Sheikh, what is the procedure of having the marriage in your masjid? I tell them 1, 2, 3, 4. And like one of them is to have wali. He says, but we're from so-and-so country and we don't have this in our country. We are like school of fiqh. He names the school of fiqh that does not, that allow something like this. I say, no. This is what Prophet ﷺ said. You cannot have marriage without the wali. They hang up in my face. And they just, he says, one of them, he said to me, do you find a sheikh who can make it for me? I said, no. If you're looking for rukhsa, license, allowance that you make it, I cannot. Even if I know someone who's doing something like this, هذا من التعاون على الإثم. This is cooperation to do the corruption, to do the wrong things. So we have to avoid something like this. So the guardian, this is a pillar of marriage. The 2 Muslim witnesses or the 1 Muslim witness with the 2 sisters, the trustworthy. The dowry, the mahr that we talked about. This is extracted from the definition. Prohibited forms and intentions in marriage, things that we may find it in marriage, these things nullify the marriage and make it corrupted. And people who do it with intention, they will be sinful. And Allah will ask them about this. Number 1, Bismillah, the temporary marriage with a pre-planned end. You come to a sister and you have intention that you will marry her for 1, 2, 3, 4, for 1 year. And after that, you decide before the marriage, you have the intention that you will dissolve this marriage. This is similar to Nikah al-Mut'ah. And this is not in Sunni madhab. This is not in our religion. This is in Shi'i madhab. In Shi'i madhab, they believe that this is something part of their religion, that they marry for a short time or known time, fixed time, that after that time they can divorce. And Nikah al-Mut'ah, actually it was lawful at the beginning of the Sharia, the legislation, but after that, after Ghazwat Khaybar, Prophet ﷺ, he prohibited it till the Day of Judgment. It is not allowed anymore. It is not allowed anymore for people to have temporary marriage and have the pre-planned end for any marriage. So if both parties agree to marry for a limited time, as in Nikah al-Mut'ah, it is unanimously prohibited by all 4 Sunni schools of thought, اللي هو مذاهب الفقهية الأربعة, the 4 schools of fiqh. If only the groom harbors, hides the intent secretly, the contract remains valid, but he is sinful for his deception because he deceived the family of the sister. She did not know anything about that. She did not know anything about that. He will be sinful because he's the one who has the ability to say the word of divorce. So he is the one who can dissolve the marriage. So if he intended to do something like this, to go to people, look at them, seeing the sister and enjoy her for a short time, and then he decides to dissolve this marriage because he had this intention before, this person is sinful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask him in the Day of Judgment. We have to keep that in mind. Allah is asking us about everything. وَإِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Allah Azza wa Jal made everything based on the intentions. So we have to have good intention so that Allah Azza wa Jal gives us success in this life and hereafter. One of the other corruptions in marriage, in forms of marriage, the marriage for immigration or legal documentations alone. That I want to get the green card, I want to get the visa, I want to get the nationality, all of these things. So I just marry. She could be an old sister. She could be having some problems with her religion. It doesn't matter. She could be an unbeliever, not Christian, not a Jew. It doesn't matter. Most important is the papers. And I stay here for many years, so I'm thirsty. I need someone to help me with this so that I can finish my papers. This is not allowed. This is not allowed, Habibi. You're dealing with Allah, Tabaraka Ta'ala. Write down your question. I will answer your question at the end, inshallah. So the intent is solely to obtain papers, not to build a real marital life. The contract is invalid in spirit. Why? Because I did not intend to have a strong. Like, what if I want to have the contract of marriage, valid one, life of marriage, and at the same time, I have the intention to have the nationality, the papers, and everything. That's okay. You have the two intentions. The first intention is to have the binding contract of marriage that is gonna last. You never intend that you dissolve this marriage. You didn't say, once I get the papers, I will divorce her because this is not suitable for me. I just chose her because of the papers and these documentations. No, if you have a sincere intention that you want to marry a sister, and this sister is okay for you, and you're doing that to have the two things to protect your chastity, and the other thing is to get the documentations and the papers and everything like this, it's okay as long as you're not having any intention of dissolving the marriage. That is okay. The problem is with the person who's trying to dissolve the marriage right after having the documentations. As I said, Allah is the all-seeing, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to keep it in mind. The marriage of convenience due to social pressures. Convenience like for a special benefit. I want to get a benefit from this family, from that family, from this brother. If I want to have a deal with this family because they're businessmen, they're so rich, so I go, I present to them, I propose to get the hand of the sister to marry one of them. Why? Because I need to participate, to be a partner in their company, in their business, in any of these things. That's why when they have a problem in their company, in their business, he will go and just dissolve the marriage and divorce the sister because he's not in need of her. He just wanted to marry the sister for the sake of having worldly matters, for the sake of the convenience due to the social pressures from his family, from the money, from the economic issues. All of these things, are not good in the intention of marriage. This is a corrupt form of the marriage. Marrying merely to satisfy family or societal expectations without genuine intention to fulfill marital responsibilities is discouraged. We shouldn't have an intention like this. The tourist marriages. You travel somewhere. You go to Egypt, you go to different places around the world, and you're gonna stay there for like a month, 2 months, and you decide to marry any of the sisters that you meet with her, and you tell yourself, I wanna make something halal. I wanna make something halal because I fear Allah and so on. You wanna make this the halal thing, you have to have, lasting marriage that lasts, not 2 months, which is the duration of the vacation. This is not allowed. If you just marry for the duration of the vacation that you traveled or that you're spending, and then you divorce the sister after that, this is not allowed. And for the sister who accepts something like this, it is not allowed for her to accept something like this, even if he's given her $1 billion. This is not allowed. The money is not going to make it halal. The money is not going to make it halal. So the temporary arrangements made while traveling, especially when done without transparency or commitment, are haram, not allowed to be done in the Muslim religion. Using marriage as a cover for zina wal-iyadhu billah, for the cover for the fornication. Some people, they have very evil intentions. They make use of the marriage in order to cover their evil intentions, to have the zina, the fornication, and to deal with these evil things that Islam completely opposes. This is not something allowed. Entering into nikah simply to engage in physical relations without real commitment is a serious violation. Allah Azza wa Jal is the all-seeing, He's the all-hearing subhanahu wa ta'ala. Marriage without a wali. So all of these are corrupt forms of marriage. We shouldn't have it. The temporary forms of marriage, the durations, short durations, that I intend to have a short time of marriage, this is not allowed. One of them is the marriage without a wali. As we said, wali is one of the pillars, and in the nikah. Sister is young, sister is old, sister is widow, she married before, any case, she's a no Muslim, none of her family is alive, we have to consider the presence of the wali. A woman marrying herself off without a wali is not considered a valid marriage in Islamic law. It is deemed zina. Nabi alayhi salam is the one who called it zina. قال إنما هذا السفاح وليس النكاح. So marrying without a wali, this is sifah, which is zina. And it's not the nikah, the marriage that Allah needs from us, that Allah wants us to do it. And Nabi alayhi salam قال لا نكاح إلا بولي. There is no marriage without the presence of a wali. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال أيما امرأة نكحت بغير إذن وليها أو نكحت بغير إذن وليها فنكاحها باطل فنكاحها باطل فنكاحها باطل. Any woman marries without the presence and the satisfaction of her wali, the guardian, so her marriage is nullified, is nullified, is nullified. Here in the hadith, we notice that Prophet ﷺ did not specify one woman over another or over other. So he just made it very general for every woman that it is not allowed for any woman, widow or virgin. It is not allowed for any of them to have marriage without wali. So this is important to understand. This is our religion. Do not let anyone play a game with you and tell you this is the Hanafi school, this is the school of fiqh, that it is accepted. So do not listen to anyone who's trying to destroy your mentality with accepting any marriage without a wali. This is important for the sister, important for the brother. He may say to you, the love that we have it, the relationship we spend many years, years together, how we would end up with this. You know, one of them, he came to the masjid and they spent 6 years together. And when they came to make the marriage, I asked for the wali. And they said, the wali is back home, overseas. So I said, okay, let's call him. Let's have a video call. They said, but it's very late. I said to them, I will come to you at Fajr. If you want to come at Fajr, I will come to you at Fajr. Anytime you want me to come here, I will come here, just to make it. And they said, okay, we will come here at Fajr. They did not come. They did not come in the next day. I waited for them. I came Fajr. I waited for them. They did not come. And the next day, they did not come. So they were trying to play a game, to do something. What if this is, imagine, you married, and this is your daughter. Are you gonna be satisfied if she marries without your permission, without your satisfaction, that you don't know what did she do? Who's the person who married her? Are you gonna accept something like this? You'll never accept something like this. As a Muslim who's jealous when it comes to his religion, when it comes to his honor, So even some non-Muslims, they're so jealous in this regard, and they attend and they insist to make it in the right way. They insist to make it in the right way. I have a recent marriage. There's two spouses. They came to the masjid. He's a Muslim, she's Christian, she's Orthodox. They wanted to make the marriage. The sister, she's Christian. The man, he's a Muslim. He's an old man, she's an old sister, and they were together for a long time. She forced him to come to the masjid and make the right marriage, the correct one, the Islamic one. They went to the DMV, they had the marriage license and everything. She came, and she's wearing wallahi like a Muslim by birth. A Muslim by birth, who's like the dressing, everything. And the sister, she was asking, when I asked her about the dowry, I said, what is the dowry that I need to write it in the contract of marriage? So she said, this is what amazed me. This is what amazed me. The sister said, my dowry is that I want him to come to the masjid. This is my dowry. I said, so you didn't need money, you didn't need gold, you didn't need silver, anything that he promises you, that he gives to you, and he's a rich man. He's not a poor man. So she said, no, all I want from him is to come to the masjid. I said, excuse me, are you revert? You were Christian, And then you reverted to Islam, or what's going on? She said, no, I'm Christian and I love Christianity. So I said, why don't you become Muslim? You're asking him to come to the masjid. Why do you ask him to come to the masjid as long as you love Christianity and this? She said, because I believe that when he comes to the masjid, he will do the right thing. Subhanallah. You know that if he comes to the masjid, he will do the right thing. Why don't you come with him to the masjid? She goes to the church every Sunday. She goes to the church. She's assumes that she is practicing her religion, and she is pushing him to come to the masjid to pray in jama'ah and this stuff. The beauty of this, that she is pushing him to do the right thing, and she is kafir. She is non-Muslim. She is non-Muslim, and that made me like sad that the Muslims they don't know their religion very well. And the non-Muslims, they push them to do the right thing. So many cases like this, we have it in life. So we have to be aware. The role of the wali. A wali is required for the woman, not the man. So if you say the man needs a wali, this is incorrect. The man can have the marriage without the existence of any of his family at all. But when the person comes to the family to marry the sister, without his family, we need to know why. What's the reason that you came alone? And if there is a good reason, we can accept something like that. But if there is no reason, this is not a good sign. That the person wants to do everything alone without having his family with him. This is not a good sign. I'm not going to be comfortable if I give my daughter to a person who does not have strong connection with his family. So it is needed for the woman, not needed for the man. And the witnesses, when we have them, is not for the man. It is for the marriage. It's not for the man as well. So we have to understand that. The wali acts as her representative and the protector in the contract. Many people, they because there's no man in the contract of marriage, they just do whatever they want. And they can deceive, they can cheat, they can make plots just because there is no man. That's why Islam protected the woman by having this man, this is your guardian. Never allow the marriage to be done without having him. He's here to protect you. That's why we say to the guardians, if you're in the contract of marriage to make oppression, this is completely against the purpose of marriage. Because you should be at the contract of marriage, you should be there to protect the sister that you're trying to make wilaya on her, the guardianship and the custody on her. You're there to protect her. Protect her from the honor side, from the family side, the relationship, and everything. So the other family, the brother who is going to marry her, he knows that she's protected. There is a man who's going to defend her. There is a man who's going to bring her rights to her. So he's not going to do that oppression. So this is important. So the wali acts as her representative and protector in the contract. The absence of groom's family does not invalidate the marriage. It raises important questions. As I said before, the marriage is valid, but why they're not here? Is it because they travel? Is it because they live back home overseas? Or they passed away or something? Or the non-Muslims, and I'm the only Muslim member of the family? You need to know why. So a guardian has the right to inquire why the groom's family is not involved, whether due to the distance, death, estrangement, or other reasons. The groom is known to have severed ties with his family without valid cause. It may be a red flag. Do not be comfortable with something like this. For the sisters as well, you need to know the background of that brother. One of the problems we have in the community, that a sister, she married a man, that man, he has a very bad background. And he's destroying her life right now. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for her and for both of them and guide him. Allahumma ameen. Regardless of age, experience, or marital history, whether virgin, divorced, or widow, every woman requires a wali. This upholds the sanctity of the marriage and ensures the woman is not taken advantage of. Okay? So if there is a woman she's the only Muslim of her family, how can we get her a wali? النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال السلطان ولي من لا ولي له. السلطان اللي هو the ruler is gonna be her wali. If she's in a Muslim country, the ruler is gonna be her Muslim, her guardian, her wali. But the ruler is not, you cannot reach out the ruler. So you go to the court. The Muslim judge is gonna be her wali in a Muslim court if you're in a Muslim country. But you're not in a Muslim country, so the imam of the masjid in a non-Muslim country is gonna be her wali. The imam of the masjid in a non-Muslim country can act as the guardian, the wali of the sister. طبعا he must be trustworthy. He must be trustworthy. Some imams, they play. Allah المستعان. All of us, shaitan is يجري من ابن آدم مجرى الدم. يعني he's very close to us and he's trying to whisper all the time. So we have to be careful. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى العافية. The order of wali, the priority in the wilaya, in the guardianship. Who's going to be the wali? The mother is going to be a wali, for example. The auntie is going to be a wali. The uncle and the father is there. The father and the uncle. Is the uncle going to be the wali first? No. We have to follow this arrangement. The father, this is number one. The father must be the wali as long as he's alive and he's there. And he's just man. Just means he's not putting like any obstacles in front of the marriage. He's a good brother, she's a good sister, they're satisfied. The whole family, the two families are satisfied with the marriage. Everyone is satisfied with the marriage, but he says, no. Why no? He says, I don't like him. This is not a reason. If you have a real reason, you have to tell us about it. If you don't have, so in this case, we will remove the guardianship from him and give it to the next one. As long as he's not preserving and he's not doing his job in the right way. He's trying to oppress the sister and the brother in this contract of marriage just because of things come to his mind. So the father and then the grandfather, his father, so he's gonna be the wali after him. The grandfather, the father are not there, so the brother of the father, who's gonna be the uncle, or the sister, the brother of the bride. The brother of the bride. Yani, let's say the father passed away, the grandfather passed away, and she has a brother. He can act as the guardian, as the wali for the sister. The brother is not there, we can go to the uncle. The woman cannot act as a wali, including the mother. And I'm telling you this because I have some cases came here, they wanted the mother to conduct the marriage. And this is not allowed. The mother herself, she needs a wali, so she cannot act as a wali. For Christians or Jewish women, the wali is her father or male guardian. Let's say a brother is gonna marry a non-Muslim sister. She is Christian or Jewish. People of the book, it is allowed to marry them, right? Like who's gonna be her guardian? She's not Muslim. Her guardian is gonna be any of her family because as long as they're non-Muslims, so they're going to act as her guardian as well. So her father is going to be her guardian, her brother, her uncle, any one of her family. But she became Muslim, it is not allowed for any one of them to act as the guardian. In this case, the guardian is going to be, as we said, if it's in a Muslim country, the guardian is going to be the Muslim judge or the imam if he's in a non-Muslim country. We have this position, as we said before, this position that is said by Imam Abu Hanifa. Imam Abu Hanifa is one of the great imams. And he's one of the great faqih, jurists. And we respect him, we love him, we love our ulama. If we don't love our ulama, there is no good in ourselves. You know, we cannot be good people if we do not love our ulama. But we have to believe that everyone after the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, everyone other than the Messenger Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, you can listen to him, he can make mistakes. And he's not going to be correct at all times. This is al-isma, the infallible person is the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. All other people from Abu Bakr all the way till the day of judgment, they may say decisions or fatawa that could be right, that could be wrong. Who says that? Ahlul ilm, people of knowledge. Not we, like we're sitting here, we're gathering, and we don't have like enough knowledge, and we say this alim is wrong, and this alim is misguided, this alim is in hell, and this alim is in Jannah. This is not allowed. We love our ulama. But Imam Abu Hanifa, he did his ijtihad, his effort in this issue. And he came to a conclusion that it is allowed for the woman as long as he put, by the way, many people they say it's allowed in Imam Abu Hanifa madhab, but they did not read his structures or his conditions when he said it is allowed. He did not say that in general. He placed strict conditions. This is in the middle, in the blue one. He placed strict conditions that the woman must be mature, sound-minded, and must choose a suitable, compatible partner. If this is not the case, she is not allowed to make it. However, the scholars, all of the scholars, they said, Imam, we love you, we respect you, but it is not allowed. Even his students, he have two imams, they were his students. One of them is called Abu Yusuf, and one of them is called Muhammad ibn al-Hasan al-Shaybani. They were like his two arms. Whenever Abu Hanifa is mentioned, people mention after him Abu Yusuf and Muhammad ibn Hasan. Abu Yusuf and Muhammad ibn Hasan. They themselves, his students, they did not accept that. Why? Because he is not a messenger, guys. He's not a messenger. They know he's a human being. And we as human beings, sometimes we do not come to the truth because this is, you do your best. But sometimes you do mistakes. And he gets the reward, inshallah, because he's mujtahid. He's a scholar, and he did his ijtihad, his effort in reaching the truth, in getting the truth. But his students did not accept that. And all the imams, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali, all the imams, they refused that. Why? Because we have texts from the Prophet, ﷺ, that he said, لا نكاح إلا بولي. It is not allowed to have marriage without a guardian. So, many scholars, including his students, they disagreed with him. He put these conditions, but these conditions did not make it allowed. Did not make it allowed. So this view contradicts authentic hadith, hence was not widely accepted by broader body of Islamic scholarship. So the wali is a basic and a vital pillar of the marriage contract, of any marriage contract, any kinds of women. The legal marriage, the government license. The license that we get from the government, what is the importance of having this license? This license, because we live in a beautiful world, mashallah. This beautiful world, it has many dishonest people who love to deceive, people who love to cheat, people who love to consume the rights of others without any right. They come to you, we want a marriage, we want to have the halal way, and then they live for 2 weeks, for 1 month, and then they have the divorce. Why? Because there is no restrictions on them. No restrictions on them. That's why one of the things that benefit the ummah and benefit the purpose of marriage is to have the license, the marriage license. And by the way, in Masjid Abu Bakr and in all masajid in Colorado, if you go to Masjid al-Salam, Masjid, any other masajid who make the marriage contract, we do not do the marriage contract without having the marriage license. If you want to marry, you have to have the marriage license. That saves your right, and that saves the right of the sister. If you don't have a marriage license, the government here does not consider you that you're married. If something happens to you, the sister that you married her, she's not gonna get her right after death, and the vice versa. So we have to keep the rights of people by having this paper. So while government issued marriage license, such as those issued at the DMV in the US, are important for legal recognition and protection for the rights, they do not substitute for an Islamic nikah. You cannot say, I will go to the DMV having the marriage license, this is my wife. No, it's not gonna work. This is just for preserving and protecting the rights of each one. Just to protect the rights of each one. And then you take this marriage license, you come with the wali of the sister, the 2 witnesses, the dowry, everything that you have it and that you need to have it in your nikah and to make it in the masjid, inshallah, or any place. which requires the Islamic pillars and conditions. Most masajid require a valid license to certificate, to officiate a nikah, to ensure legal responsibility and mutual rights are protected. The Sunnah practices during the marriage contract. There are many things that are allowed for us when we have the marriage contract, and it is beloved to make it. We make it out of thankfulness, that you're thankful to Allah Azza wa Jal. One of them is announcing the marriage publicly. In the engagement in Al-Khitbah, we said it's better to hide it. It's better to conceal the engagement. Why? Because this is still engagement. You don't know, is it you're gonna make it or not? And this sister, you don't know, is she gonna continue with you or not? You may dissolve it after a week, after 2 weeks, after a month, anything like this. So you want to preserve the honor of the sister. Anyone comes after you, so there is no bad gossips or evil things said about the sister. So we announce the marriage publicly. We hold the nikah in the mosque if that is possible. And hosting the walima, which is the wedding sacrifice or the slaughter that the sheep or any animal that we slaughter it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal as a walima. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال لعبد الرحمن بن عوف قال له أولم ولو بشاة. Make a walima for the wedding, to slaughter something, even if it's a goat. So this is something needed. Make dua for the couples to succeed and to have the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. We have one of the dua, بارك الله لكما وبارك عليكما وجمع بينكما في خير. اللهم صب عليهما الخير صبا ولا تجعل عيشهما كدا. So you ask Allah the blessings for the brother and the sister, the two spouses who are gonna marry and have this beautiful life with the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. Making them the dua is something important. And هذا دعاء بظهر الغيب. دعاء بظهر الغيب. يعني ايه دعاء بظهر الغيب? That I make dua for a person who's not with me. And when I make a dua a person who's not with me or a person who cannot hear me, this is like بظهر الغيب, that he cannot hear me. So in this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends an angel, and that angel says, Ameen, Ameen, وَلَكَ بِمِثْلِ. يعني, Ya Allah, accept and give the brother who did the dua the same thing. Give the sister who made the dua the same thing. So this is dua بظهر الغيب. In marriage or any dua that you make it for your brother or for your sister, as long as they're not with you. The mention of the dowry is something also, one of the sunnah that we can have it while the contract of marriage. Because Prophet ﷺ in the same hadith, when he talked to Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, he said, بِمَا أَصْدَقْتَ لَهَا. What kind of dowry you give to her? فقال له وزن نواة من ذهب. And he gave her something from gold. Something from gold he gave to her as a mahr, as a dowry. The important guidelines regarding the dowry, the mahr. This is important for the brothers and the sisters, so please have an eye on it. Mahr is the exclusive right of the bride. This is not the right of the father. This is not the right of the family. This is the right of the sister. Whatever they agree upon 500,000, they agree upon a house, they agree upon a car, and they came here, 500,000. I said, wow, mashallah, Allah barik. Give me some 500,000, amazing, mashallah. So whatever they agree upon, 1,000, $1, anything they agree upon, this is the right of the bride. She takes it, she makes whatever she likes with it, as long as she's doing it in the halal way. There is no maximum or minimum in the dowry that you say the maximum is 10,000 and the minimum is 500. No, there is no maximum or minimum for the dowry, but it should be reasonable and not burdensome, not something heavy on the shoulder of the brother who are gonna marry. Why? Because in this case we make it hard for the youth. If you go and marry and the father says to you, you need to bring gold like $100,000 and to write down a dowry like another 400,000. So why would marry? If I have the 500,000, why would marry? So this is not something good. We make it hard for people. We have to make it easy. Yes, if I'm rich, and you ask me like to bring gold, ounce, 2 ounce, whatever gold you ask me, whatever money you ask me, and then I say, you know what, I will give you this like for 100,000, and I'll give you another 100,000. I give you 1 million. Why not? Why not? There's no problem. Because it's something from the man he gives to the sister who's gonna marry her, and there is no limitations, the maximum or the minimum. As long as you're satisfied with that, and that is okay for you, خلاص توكل على Allah. But if we force people to make it, we will make people think 100 and 1,000 times before they come to marry. Why? Because it is hard for them. It is hard for them. That is why, if extravagant, like exaggerating in the dowries, prevent people from marrying, it becomes sinful societal practice on all people that they're committing a sin. Like you go to a village, we have some villages back home, they have a dowry that all of them they agree upon, like 500, 500, 500,000, 500,000, you know? So this is the norm over there. So people now, they do not marry a lot. And the marriage, you know, becomes for them very late. It gets late for them to marry. Why? Because of these expensive costs of marriage. So in this case, it will be haram. It will be a sin for them to commit something like this. Mahr can be paid upfront or deferred. A deferred one, it becomes like a debt on the man. So you can say, it's 10,000, okay, take it right now. You can say, I will pay 1,000 and then the 9,000 will be deferred. That is okay. But the deferred one, the late one, that you said it will be postponed, this is a debt that you need to pay it. Don't forget about it. Even if the person dies, it will be taken from his inheritance because it's a debt. You know that the martyr does not enter Jannah unless his debt is paid, even the martyr. So that's a debt and must be given to the lady. And many people, they do not do that. Yes, and they just forget about it. You're the wife, you have to tolerate him, you have to forgive. What if she doesn't want? What if she is in need of money? She has the right to ask for the money. If she forgives, that's a good deed. May Allah accept from her. Jazakallah khair, sister. May Allah bless you. Why? Because you did a good deed. But if she doesn't forgive, she is not sinful, and this is her right. And we have to understand that. The wife may forgive her husband from paying the mahr, either during his life or after his death. They agreed upon something. And she said to him, you know what? I forgive you. I don't want anything from the mahr. I free you from my mahr. You just make me umrah. It's like 15,000, 20,000, 100,000. You just make me umrah. And subhanallah, my wife, she said, if you make me umrah, khalas. I made her the umrah, khalas. She said, I forgive you from the mahr. We don't want mahr anymore. Khalas. The umrah is the best thing. Do hajj. And subhanallah, this is the life. You know, you agree upon something, and she forgives you, she frees you from the mahr. That would be something beautiful. It would be something okay. Mahr can be material, something like money, gold, silver, you can catch. And it could be something like non-material, like teaching Quran, religious services, and etc. And a woman asked the Prophet for the marriage. She wanted to marry the Prophet ﷺ, and he did not marry her. And he asked for someone to marry the sister. And then a man stood, and he wanted to marry her. And he asked them, what do you have to give her as dowry? He said, I have nothing, Ya Rasulullah. He said to him, what do you memorize from the Quran? He said, 1 and 2, 3, like surahs. He said, زَوَّجْتُكَهَا بِمَا مَعْكَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ. I marry you the sister, and the dowry is some surahs that you memorize. This is the most valuable thing. If people understand, it is not the issue of money. That is why, what is in the history of Islam? What is the greatest and most valuable and precious mahr in the history is mahr of Sulaym. Sulaym, the example, the most noble mahr was mahr when Abu Talha al-Ansari, a man who lived in Medina, from al-Ansari, yani people of Medina, he was there, and Sulaym, she was there as well. Her husband, he left her and left behind Anas ibn Malik, okay? And she's alone. And now people tried to propose for her. She became Muslim. And Abu Talha, one of the people who wanted to marry her. Sulaym is, I asked the sisters before they read about Sulaym, they made a research about Sulaym and they read about her life. Amazing. Amazing. If you just go and see how beautiful she is, strong she is, smart she is. And she used to be with the Prophet ﷺ all the time. This man is in Hajj and I have to answer him. It's okay. You can go and then you come continue. Yeah, go ahead and continue. Continue. That's okay. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fi. He's in vital situation and he's in sa'i and he's need answer right now. نسأل الله أن يتقبل منا ومنه. So Talha said to Sulaym said to Abu Talha, if you want to marry me, you have to be a Muslim. He took a long time thinking. He goes back and forth and so on. And then he became a Muslim. People of the Medina, they were jealous because of her dowry. It was the most precious and valuable dowry, which was Islam. We have today, mashallah, some people, they become Muslims and they accept them, the sisters, they invite them to Islam and they become Muslims and they marry them. But actually we have to have deeper intention, because those people, they have deeper intention, strong intention, sincere intention. Today, we have to look at the brother who wants to become Muslim, and we have to look at his intention. We have to remind him that you become Muslim not only to marry the sister, but you're trying to become Muslim because you want to become Muslim. Because you want to become Muslim. Because you want to survive. And let's say you're not going to marry this sister at the end of the day, so you need your religion. You need the religion of Islam. So we have to remind them with this. The practical advice during the engagement period, or the time between Aqd al-Nikah and the wedding, the contract of marriage and the wedding. There's a duration. Some people, they make it like 6 months. Some people, they make it 1 year. Let's see. Avoid the unnecessarily long engagements or the duration between the contract of marriage and the wedding. Don't make it so long. So long, it's going to be boring. And instead of that they love one another, they're going to hate one another. They're going to fight every day. I know one of the brothers, he stayed 3 years. 3 years. After the 3 years, a very beautiful story of love. They did not marry. They did not marry. And wallahi, they did not marry. And their story is like the whole village, they know about it. What happened? They fight every day. It's boring. Fight in the house. Do not fight before having a house. Okay? Because one of the brothers, he told me, and I have to be straightforward with you. He said to me, if you have a problem before marriage, you will keep fighting, and you will shout, and it will be a big problem. But if you have a problem after the marriage, it could be a hug, and everything is khalas. Everything is done. With hug. Prophet ﷺ, he kisses Aisha. He says to her that you're most beloved to me. رزقت حب عائشة. النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام يقول إيه؟ رزقت حب عائشة. I was given, provided by Allah, the love of Aisha. When you have a problem after marriage, you can solve it easily. Before marriage, it is hard because there are still limits and restrictions between both of you. Okay, so it is not something good to have it very long. Yes, you can give yourself some time to understand the person in front of you. Remember that through nikah, if the nikah has made things lawful, the bride is still living with her family. So respect that. So I'm not allowed to do a lot of things that you think that you live together. I think you understand what I say. So you live together and there is no problem of having everything as two married people, complete marriage. Respect, she's still there with her family. And you may dissolve this contract of marriage again. So you need to respect that, respect the honor of this family. Maintain respectful boundaries with the in-laws. the family of your bride, and avoid overstaying during visits that you stay for a long time. You come every day, you visit like a lot of times, and they get bored because of you. You hurt them. You hurt them whenever you come, yani, you make it hard for them. She's my wife, guys. She's my wife. Why would you do that? So believe me, this is something lawful. This is my religion. And religion made it lawful for me. Yes, we respect that. But keep in mind that this family as well, they have some rights. And we have to respect their privacy as well. Use this period to develop deeper understanding, but do not act in ways you may regret later. Some people, one of the people, they acted as completely married people. They lived together and they went out, they had the relationship, the brother died. The sister, she's pregnant. Do you know what happened? They accused her with zina. They accused her with zina because they know that they were not together in one place. They know that. So the people accused her with zina, and he was the man who did it. He was the man, her husband, but he passed away. So we don't want to put ourselves in doubtful matters like this. You have to be careful. You have to be careful, and you have to be patient and think wisely. Assess the compatibility, the character, and the values that you are looking for. This is the most important thing at this period of time. Also, learn your Islamic rights and responsibilities and discuss them together. You have rights and there are duties upon you. She has rights and there are duties upon her. You need to know these together and you need to discuss it together. That is important. Share your feelings respectfully and within proper limits. Yes, you can say, I love you. You can say beautiful words, having the gifts, everything, all of these things, but also respect the limits and the borders. Avoid placing the bride in an awkward positions or making unreasonable requests while she lives with her family. For example, do not listen to your mother. Why? You don't have the right to say that right now. Do not listen to your brother. Do not go out with your brother. If I know that you go out with your brother, it will be so bad. Habibi, she's not in your house right now. You have to keep that in mind. She's still in her family house. Many things you love to have it. It's not haram if the sister is making it. Something lawful. But you're jealous and you don't want her to do something like this. But you have to respect that she's still there with the family. She has to appreciate you, telling you, I went here and there today and visited some of the relatives. That is okay, out of appreciation. But it's not a must on her that she has to follow you today while she's still in her family house. She listens to her family first. When she comes to your house, she's going to listen to you first. And you have to respect that, and you keep it in mind. Many problems happen because of this, and the misunderstanding of these points. Recognize that marriage completes half of your deen, so be mindful and conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the other half. The mutual appreciation, respect, and care are the keys to a long-lasting and loving relationship. The conclusion, we talked about the nikah, the definition of the nikah, the pillars of the nikah, the invalid intentions, the temporary marriages that people have, and the forms of these corrupt marriages, and the sunnah practices, and also the mutual responsibilities. If you have it in the house, you will have successful marriage. This is a book. It's called Before the Wedding, Questions for Muslims to Ask Before Getting Married. This is a very beautiful book. And this is what I told you that I will share with you at the end. I don't know if one of you have it or not. How many of you have this book? Raise the hand. So this is a book written by a sister. It's called Munira Likovic. Is it Likovic? C at the end. Is it Likovic or Likovic? Okay. Likovic Izzuddin. This sister, she lives in California. She has 3 kids. And she lives with her husband. She did this beautiful book. It's called Before the Wedding, Questions for Muslims to Ask Before Getting Married. It is on Amazon, $10, nothing. You can buy the book And when you open the book, you'll find a lot of things, good things in the first chapters, till you find in the chapter 5, she is talking about questions. She's helping you to have questions about the curriculum that you needed in life and the future of your husband. This is the book. So you can go through the book. For example, I can give you some examples of the questions. She comes to chapter 5, the personality. She talks about the education, profession, personality, and the past experiences. She comes to the education, asking some questions to make you brainstorm and think deeply how to communicate with your partner. Like a question like, how much education have you completed? How highly do you value education? Very good question that we need to ask to our partners. And also, when you come to the profession, you find things like, do you consider yourself an introvert, introvert or extrovert? What does this mean to you? One of the questions, what are some qualities you're looking for in a spouse? Beautiful questions. How do you feel about making changes for your spouse or relationship? And so on and so forth. You go on and then you will find like evaluation that tells you after answering these questions, because you before you ask the question or answer the question, you need to have all the information. You need to answer this question first. So she says to you, what did you learn about yourself? This is something you need to write about yourself. What did you learn? Because you ask yourself the question before you ask your partner, okay? As we agreed last time. What did you learn about your potential spouse? This is something important. She goes like in the next chapter, Islam and culture. She asks some questions like, were you raised with a particular culture? How do you practice your culture? Do you subscribe to any particular madhahib, school of thoughts, sects, group, or leaders? People who were asking about Aqidah last time. All of this is mentioned here as well. Which Muslim groups or organizations you are part of? If not a part of any, are there any you support or oppose? This is something also that will give more thoughts about your partner. What political party do you support? Not necessary to be a supporter of any party, not necessary to be one of the Democrats or Republicans, but also the ideas to meet together. How do you feel about women in leadership positions? How do you feel about attending religious classes or lessons? And so on. And then you have the evaluation after that. Then you have questions about finances. The finances questions like, what standard of living are you currently used to? What standards of living did your parents provide you when growing up? All of these questions, important ones. If the wife works, should she contribute her income to the joint account or her own personal account? This is something people ask about. So you go on and on. Next one, life at home. Life at home, you find questions like, would the person you live with now describe you as neat, tidy, messy, or dirty? Questions like this. Do you prefer eating in a restaurant or eating homemade food? Something like this. You can have it also. Friends, community. You need to know about the friends, the relationships that every partner has. Describe your best friend. Describe your best friend. Sometimes you will build the marriage according to the best friend. If the best friend is salih, righteous, mara'a salihah, righteous woman, known in the community, so you feel that this is something good. You're reassured. If she's a lady like people, they talk that whenever she talks to anyone, she let them divorced. And she urges women to be divorced and something like this. So I'm not going to allow something like this to happen. How are you and your friends similar? Which of your friends has had the biggest influence on you? One of the things that I did after the marriage contract, that my wife, she loved a very good friend of her. The first thing I did, it was taking her to visit her friend. She was so far, and so on. But when we visited her friend, that made a beautiful notion, or like she loved what I did very much. So it was like something that you appreciate people that she loves. So we went to the family of her friend. It was something good for her, and she was so happy just because of the friendship and the relationship. You can have this book. You can read the questions, all of the questions, hundreds of questions you can ask. The sister, mashallah, she did this book with her husband. They sat together and they discussed all of these questions that people are in need. And this is the 4th edition. They added more questions according to the experience that they have. This will be, inshallah, very beneficial for you if you do it, inshallah ta'ala. And now the time for questions. If you have questions, inshallah. What's your question?
Part of my culture, after you pay the meher, you also have to agree on a mu'akhar. Is that part of Islam? And if you do agree...
I was in Palestine. You're Palestine?
Yeah.
I was in Palestinian wedding 2 days ago, and they said to me that. And when I explained to them, he's saying part of our culture that you pay something in advance and you call the other one is mu'akhar. Is this dowry? Is this mahr? What is the Islamic view in this regard?
Do you have to pay it if you agree on it, knowing it?
Yeah. I actually explained to them that whatever names you give is going to still be called mahr. So muqaddam, mu'akhar, in advance, deferred, both of them will be combined together. And this is the first time they do it, by the way. And I did it for them in the way. So I explained that this is mahr as well. So if the deferred one, they do it, they say, we do it just in case if the sister is divorced, right? Yeah.
If you divorce our daughter...
Yeah, they think about divorce before they married. Do you think if you write $1 million deferred, and the sister, she made you horrible time, difficult time, hard time for your life, do you think you're not going to divorce her because of the $1 million? Wallahi, you will pay the $1 million and divorce her. Habibi, when divorce happens, people will sacrifice with anything. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you all safe. The idea is, both of them are mahr. And we shouldn't think with this mentality. Okay?
Is it permissible?
Permissible what? To make mu'akhar?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I talked about it. It is permissible, but it's a debt. You have to pay it. You have to pay it. If the person dies, it will be taken from his inheritance. Okay? The sister is asking, Assalamu alaikum, can you please explain the difference between the mahr and mu'akhar? Same thing again. Mu'akhar is included in mahr. Mu'akhar is just, you can't pay all of the money at once. So you divide it. You say, I will pay 1,000, and like 5,000 will be deferred, 10,000 will be deferred. So you say, both of them will be mahr. Mahr is the general word. The one in advance, the one which is mu'akhar, both of them are included in that mahr. Okay, are included in that mahr. So the word mahr is a general word that includes muqaddam and mu'akhar. Both of them are part of the mahr. The sister says, I've heard some cultures have this. Yes, he's here. He's sitting in front of me. The woman will ask for the mu'akhar on top of the mahr. No, the mu'akhar is included in the mahr. I just did it 2 days ago with this culture of the man. That concept is a bit confusing. Can you please explain this? I think now it's clear.
Can I add something?
Yes.
So the mu'akhar is like, the sister asked for 20,000 meher. So you pay that 20,000, and then they put a 50,000
Why?
on you in case you divorce our daughter.
They want to twist your arm?
Yeah, basically. Is that permissible?
This is not permissible.
That's what mu'akhar is.
This is like you put penalty on me. Why would you put penalty on me? Just take the mahr. Just take the mahr. This break the trust between people.
So
You twist the arm. You want me to stay with your daughter just because you twisted my arm?
Yeah.
It's like cancellation fee.
So you have to pay that if you agree on it?
Yeah, if you agree on it, you have to pay it. But if I were you, I wouldn't.
They won't allow you, Sheikh.
Huh?
You can never marry a Palestinian without mu'akhar.
Habibi, wallahi, I went. They said 15,000. Muqaddam. Mahr. They said mahr. And they said mu'akhar 20,000. I said, hold on. What are you talking about? It's mahr. They said, Sheikh, we have mu'akhar. I said, hey guys, مقدم مؤخر, both are going to be combined together. Are you satisfied? It's going to be mahar, 35,000. It's going to be satisfied? They said yes. I said, خلاص, يلا, let's go. They made it. Okay? So the muakhar is similar to what you can ask. Yes. Muakhar is similar to what you can ask for in the divorce clause in the marriage contract. You ask for your mahar. You ask for your mahar. What the brother paid, like he paid 1,000 and still there like 15,000, so you ask for the 15,000. You ask for the mahar that he did not pay. طيب. The sister is asking, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh, alaikum salam. So when it comes to wali, after the father, it's the grandfather. Does it have to be from the father's side or the mother's side? Yes, the father's side. This is called al-asaba, an inheritance. The inheritance goes to the father's side first. So if any of the father's side are not alive, so we go to the mother's side. Okay. The sister is asking, Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. Sometimes when you don't ask for too much mahr as a woman, they tend to see you cheap. Sometimes, yes, with cheap people. So the one who sees that she's cheap, he's a cheap person. So, or why you are asking for less? How should we deal with that? Actually, this is one of the things that you can talk about during the engagement period. You know, khitbah. What is your thoughts of mahr? That you talk about this. And you can figure out those people are stingy or cheap or the mentality that they think, the way they think. And then you can make your decision. But I can say there is like something you have to follow. The sister is asking. Another question, we have a thing called culling. Culling? What is culling? So it is something you pay before, and it's just for the bride to buy her things. We have it in Egypt. Does that also account as mahr? No, this is a gift. This is a gift. This is not a mahr. This is not a mahr. Culling is a gift, right? I don't know. You don't know? What is that? Yeah. What is your question? Yeah, they ask me through here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, so my question is for a similar cultural reason. So I'm not Palestinian, I'm from Lebanon, and my family is telling me that there is a custom, like a tradition, right? Because you didn't mention jewelry, right? But in Lebanon, apparently there's a custom where not only do you buy the wife a wedding ring, you also buy her bracelets for both arms.
We do that in Egypt
buy
as well.
A necklace, earrings, and ankle.
It is according to what you agree upon. If your culture agree that the jewelry is written in the contract of marriage, that's going to be included in the mahr. If they do not write it, they do not count it, that's going to be a gift. Are you ready to give gift of like this? So it's going to be like according to what you agree upon. So some people, they agree that it's part of mahr, and some people, they do not agree upon that. Any more questions? Yes.
So for the hadith, so sometimes they ask for like 13 to 15K as well. And then on top of that, they
13th to what?
15K or even more.
$15,000 bucks?
They also ask for the hadith. That's why I asked, does it count?
If that works with you guys, customs are not religion. You can break the custom. You know, it's easy to break the custom as long as it doesn't work with you. You can break it. It's not a religion, you know. But if the two families, they agree upon something like this, why not? Everything is based on a consent. If your culture is like this, خلاص توكلوا على الله. If you find it hard and I cannot do it, say no. Nobody's gonna twist your arm just like this culture.
So
Okay.
what I'm getting from that is like both what he said and what I said.
Whatever you agree upon. Whatever you agree upon.
These are all cultural things.
The sister says, I have another question. In some cultures, such as Somali culture, the mahr is sometimes taken by the family and distributed among relatives. Inna lillah. Is this practice incorrect from an Islamic perspective? If so, how can one address this and educate their family about it in respectful and constructive way? This is a very beautiful thing. It depends on the family open mind. They can listen, they can sit together, they can have some discussions or not. You can say, let's read together in any book of fiqh, the part of mahr, the part of marriage. Yarhamkumullah. So the part of marriage, the part of mahr, the pillars of marriage in Islam. You can go and you can read. And from my experience, many of the Somalis, mashallah, they love their religion. They love their religion. They love the Quran and they love the Sunnah. And sometimes the custom, they make it because they don't know anything except for these customs. But if you talk to them, they can listen to you, inshallah. So nicely, you can discuss it together. You can discuss it with your fiancé. You tell him that I give this for my future wife. So please keep it for her. So you can discuss it from this manner. We have a lot of Somali brothers here. Never do that. It's not your right to take the mahr of your daughter.
I'm rich, Sheikh. I'm rich.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions from the sisters? Yes.
I heard that if you get married and you pay the mahr and everything, and the sister asks for divorce, she has to give you the mahr back.
Yeah.
If that's the case, how much does she have to give back? Can she get her
He's
divorce?
talking about divorcing before the wedding, the divorce before the wedding, and you agreed upon mahr. No. He's talking about divorcing before wedding, and they agreed upon mahr. If they agreed upon mahr, she takes half of it, and she gives back the half for the man, because there was the relationship, which is the wedding. After the wedding, all of her mahr she's gonna take it if there is a divorce. If there is a divorce, she's gonna take all of the mahr because this is her right. But if there is a divorce before the wedding, she has the right to take half of it, and the other half is for the man, because there was no touch, there's no relationship.
It doesn't matter who calls it off?
Huh? No, it doesn't matter. In engagement and khitbah, it matters. In divorce, no.
This has to be before they're intimate,
What do you mean?
like before they sleep together.
Yes,
She gives back half.
half.
But if when she sleeps with her, she takes all of
She
it.
takes all. Okay? Jazakumullah khair. Barakallah fikum. Any questions from the sisters? طيب, barakallah fikum. I hope you got benefit from this. One thing, last thing, ya Khalid. I will make the dua, inshallah. Next Sunday is going to be like the third day after the third day of Eid. So what do you think? Are you going to come, guys, or not?
Yeah.
You're going to come? So how many one is going to show up? Raise the hand. All of you, Allahumma barik. Jazakumullah khair. In Egypt, we spend 10 days, we don't go anywhere. جزاك الله خير. أسأل الله أن يبارك فيكم وأن يحفظكم بحفظ الجميل. اللهم لك الحمد كله وإليك يرجع الأمر كله علانية وسره. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم اغفر لنا ما قدمنا وما أخرنا وما أسررنا وما أعلنا وما أسرفنا وما أنت أعلم به منا. اللهم خذ بنواصينا إليك أخذ الكرام عليك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم زود شباب المسلمين وفتيات المسلمين يا رب العالمين. اللهم ارزقهم أزواجا صالحين. اللهم حصن فروجهم. اللهم احفظ أعراضنا وأعراضهم. اللهم يسر لنا أمورنا وأمورهم. اللهم فرج عن إخواننا المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم فرج عن إخواننا في فلسطين. اللهم فرج عن إخواننا في السودان. اللهم عليك بأعداء الإسلام فإنهم لا يعجزونك. اللهم ردنا إلى دينك مردا جميلا. صلى الله وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خير.